Hi everyone, my name is Lamarana. Welcome to the Halal Africa show. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe, click on the notification button. Today I am very excited to talk to you about some of the business opportunities we have in the Gambia. And I did write down some stuff, and then from time to time I'll be looking at my card. But some of the areas that you can invest in the Gambia are agriculture, the energy sector, ICT, fisheries, tourism, you name it. But today my focus is going to be on agriculture because it is the most important sector in the Gambia. The agricultural sector employs about 68% of the population. And this is why I think if we want the Gambia to develop, we have to invest heavily in the agricultural sector. And the first reason why we should invest in agriculture is the availability of land. In the Gambia, we have about 558,000 hectares of arable land. That is enough land for us to do agriculture and be able to feed the Gambian population. And not only that, but we will have the chance to even export to other countries. Second, we have 3 to 5 months of rainfall, and if we capitalize on this and then we invest heavily, I think we will be able to grow enough food to be able to feed the Gambian population. The other aspect where you can invest in agriculture would be horticulture and animal husbandry, and also agricultural mechanization and agro industries and processing. So if you are somebody who has the capital, the means to invest in the Gambia, I think agriculture would be one of the areas that you should look into, because if you invest in agriculture, you will be able to employ a lot of people, provide the necessary food supply that is needed for the Gambia, because for the most part, most of our food stuff is being imported from outside, and there is no reason for us to be importing food from outside, because one, we have freshwater availability in the Gambia around the regions of Lower River Division and Central River Division, because the River Gambia is divided into two. One part of the River Gambia is salt water, and then the other part is fresh water. And I think if there is some heavy investment done in the Gambia under mechanized agriculture, we should be able to grow enough food to feed the country, because we know that Gambia has a very short rainfall season. So this is where mechanized agriculture is important. We should invest in modern technologies wherein we have irrigation systems across the country to be able to produce, cultivate rice rather, 3 times in the year, because there is no reason for us to only wait for the rain season. And once the rain season is gone, our lands are laying bare for 8 months without doing anything. And this is where I think you as a potential investor can come in, form partnership with the people on the ground, and then help to improve our agricultural sector. Apart from the farming itself, there is also horticulture and animal husbandry. When it comes to horticulture, the women of the Gambia are doing a great job. For the most part, during the rainy season, they will grow vegetables, and then during the dry season, they will also be gardening. But this is not enough, because I believe that those women only farm for subsistence means. They are not farming to supply the markets and then make a good living out of it. They only farm to feed their own family. And I think we should be able to transition from that to, producing vegetables and other agricultural produces at a larger scale, wherein we can, see ourselves as entrepreneurs, farm and be able to earn a decent living from what we do. In the area of animal husbandry, there is a lot that we can do, because Gambia, most of our chicken is imported from other countries. For example, the Netherlands. We have some local farmers who are doing poultry farming, but they are not, given the capacity. They are not given the help that they need in order to, do poultry farming at a larger scale. Because according to some experts, we need at least 1 million chicken in the Gambia in order to be able to, feed our population. But when you look at that sector, it is severely underperforming. Even when it comes to farming itself, out of the 558,000 hectares that we have, it is only 200,000 hectares of land that is being utilized. And you find out that the agricultural sector itself is heavily underfunded, heavily underdeveloped. So you as an investor, I think this will be an opportunity for you to come in and then see what you can do. And the other aspect is we have to drift away from just producing crops and rearing animals, but we don't add value to it. In order for us to maximize the profit that we are looking for, we should be able to add value to what we produce as farmers. And this is wherein I think building up factories, doing agro-processing is very, very important. And the Gambia heavily lacks this. When you look at the areas of horticulture itself, most of these women are hardworking. They go into these gardens, they grow vegetables, but at the end of the day, what happens is most of those vegetables, they end up being perishing, because once they take it to the market, if it is not sold at the end of the day, they have to throw it. Because we don't have cold storage facilities in the Gambia. We don't have factories that will process those vegetables into finished products that can stay on the counter for 6 months or even a year or more. I think if we invest in agro-processing, we will be able to maximize the profit that we want from some of those things that we do as farmers. And also in animal husbandry itself, if the Gambia or Gambians or any other potential investor from outside should invest in these areas, we will be able to produce animal stuff at a larger scale, wherein we can feed Gambians and also be able to export it to other countries. For example, when you look at Botswana, they supply the EU with cow meat, beef. The Gambia can also do that. And also where we live within West Africa itself, when you look at the population of West Africa, it's almost close to 400 million people. So we have a wide market, access to a wide market, especially we are having this free trade agreement between member states, wherein you can produce your agricultural products in one country and be able to export it to other countries within West Africa. And this will encourage regional integration. It will encourage the people also to venture into farming, because in the Gambia, when you tell somebody to go and become a farmer, they see it as something which a sector which is not important, because people think that farming is only for poor people. But some of us who live in the West, you find out that farming is a game for the rich, because if you are not rich, you cannot invest in farming. So therefore, I think as people, we should be able to come together, put our resources together, and venture into the agricultural sector, because no nation on earth can be independent, be free, and be developed if it cannot feed his or her people. And this is the major problem with most of the African countries. We don't produce, we don't eat what we produce. We usually have to import basic food stuff from other countries to the Gambia and even Africa at large, because every year the Gambia is running a trade deficit when it comes to trade with other countries around the world, because the three most important items that we import in the Gambia are foodstuff, fuel, and machinery. And when it comes to foodstuff, I see no reason why we should be importing foodstuff from other countries, because we already have the land. Although we have short period of rainfall, but God has blessed us with a mighty river Gambia, which has fresh water. And if we can do irrigation, we should be able to feed ourselves. Although the government has tried for the past 50 years or so, but they have woefully failed, because most of those projects have taken a lot of the taxpayers' money and did not end up doing anything good for the Gambian people. And I think this is where the private sector should come in, because we cannot leave everything in the hands of the government and expect that the government will be able to do it. We as Gambians, especially the Gambians in the diaspora, I think it is high time for us to come together and do what we need to do for the Gambia. In 2019 alone, the Gambian diaspora sent over $318 million as remittance. But when you look at that remittance, which is sent to families back home, is for their daily sustenance. And sometimes we build good homes for ourselves or our family. But apart from that, we are not investing in areas that we should invest in order to create job opportunities for Gambians. And I think the agricultural sector is one of those areas that we can invest in as the Gambian diaspora, to show or set the example for other people to come in also and invest, because charity begins at home. If we want the Gambia to develop seriously, we have to invest in agriculture, create jobs for the young people, and also be able to feed the country. I think this is something which is very, very important. And if we are able to achieve success in the area of becoming a food self-sufficient country, I think the Gambia would be moving in the right direction that we all want to see. But unless we succeed in the agricultural sector, the Gambia will always remain to be a poor country. We will always remain to be dependent on foreign aid and other donor countries. And as a sovereign state, we should be able to call ourselves free and independent. And by so doing, other people will respect us. Other countries will respect us. Africa should not always be at the receiving end. Whenever disasters happen in Africa, the first person to come to our help is the Europeans, the Western countries. They will send in free food aid. I think it is high time for us Africans to be able to intervene in these areas if we can become food self-sufficient. And if you please like this video, share with your loved ones. Until I come your way, this is Lamarana. Peace out. Hi guys, I forget to mention that if you want to invest in the Gambia, there is an organization called GIEPA, which is Gambia Investment Export Promotion Agency. This is the agency set up by an Act of Parliament, their sole responsibility is to promote investment opportunities in the Gambia. I'm going to put their information at the description box, their website and their email. Please subscribe, like and share.